Hello, everybody, and welcome to this taster, which aims at explaining you the structure of the finance undergraduate degrees at the business school, formerly known as CAS. I am Dr. Malvina Marchese, and I am the course director of all the undergraduate degrees in finance. So finance is an extremely interesting subject that contains various fields of interest. The most important one are corporate finance, which teaches us about how firms finance their activities and how they make decisions on whether their project make good financial sense. This is a intake on finance from a corporate perspective. There is then another field of finance, which is investment. Investments is a field of finance that studies the risk and the returns from investing money and also helps us understand risk management. This field is the most quantitative one among the three fields in finance. Finally, there is another very important field in the general subject of finance, which is banking and financial markets, that to some extent lies between these two topics. Banking and financial markets analyzes banks as financial institutions and addresses how they hedge risk, but also offers a lot of insights on how central banks manage overall risk from a financial perspective for the country. See here some example of questions that could be answered from a corporate finance perspective. For example, a price in specific share, or how does the company decide whether to go ahead with the project or not? Or if you are looking from a corporate perspective, do manager looks after the interests of the shareholders or just after themselves? Investment key questions are about what can you get in terms of investing out of a return? For example, which specific risks get rewarded? Can we beat the market? So if you are coming to the business school, formerly known as CAS, to study finance, can you do better than the average investor? That's for sure. Will you be able to exploit arbitrage opportunity to make money? Finally, here you can see some of the banking key question. Why are banks special institutions? What's the difference between banks and other financial institutions? And why are banks so important in determining the overall financial performance of a country? But within the banking degree, you may also be addressing questions directly on assets. So going back to investment, for example, how do I price a complicated asset? Or again, you may be wondering if there is such a thing as a free lunch, if markets, which are not always perfect, are still open for you to opportunity of investment that will enable you to take advantage of arbitrage. So I am sure you have been exposed to more than one taster presentation on different type of finance degree, and you may wonder what's the difference between studying in a business school rather than studying in a university. There is quite a big difference between taking one of our undergraduate degree in finance rather than taking the exact same degree or something that looks exactly the same in a very good university, even a top university, such as, for example, the LSE, where I come from. The big difference is when you are in a business school, the approach that we have is completely different from any university approach. In the business school, we not only teach you what every other good university is teaching you in terms of academic content for finance, we also have a very strong link with the industry, and therefore we tailor make our teaching to industry needs. To convince you of this and to give you an example of this, you can see here the structure of the three undergraduate finance degrees that we offer. Finance, investment and financial risk management, banking and international finance. The 3 degrees all have a common 1 year and a half where you will learn the fundamental of finance. Starting from term 2 of the second year, you start specializing according to your specific degree, and the specialization keeps on carrying on in your year 3 of the degree. But an extremely interesting option that we offer is 1 year of either professional placements or study abroad. This year will happen between your stage 2 and stage 3 of the degree. And this is one of our greatest added value because we have study abroad partners, academic university partners, which are extremely prestigious in the field of finance. And we also have very exciting placement opportunity in the finance industry in the city of London and also abroad with top partners, including investment banks. I know many of you are very keen on investment banks, but also including central banks, many other type of institutions, such as Google, where some of our undergraduates go for professional placement if they are specializing in the IFRM degree, taking the quant route. First year of degree, the first stage of your degree, will see all of you together taking the same modules, and you will have a mixture of different type of modules with all together will give you a strong foundation to be able to progress in your study on finance and finally obtain a job in the city or in general in the finance industry. You will take microeconomic and macroeconomics, so foundation in economics, deep ones, because finance is part of economics. You are going to take introduction to financial accounting because that's the backbone of understanding any corporation. You will take investment and financial institution. Now, investment and financial institution is an extremely important course that lays the foundation of everything you will study later on in terms of derivatives, fixed income, in general, financial tools. And finally, you are going to take the quant courses, Maths for Finance and Stats for Finance, which are extremely important because finance is a mathematical subject. So you have to be okay with maths and stats. We don't assume that you have A level in maths. They are not necessary. They are highly recommended, but not necessary. If you don't have A level in maths, you probably find the Maths for Finance, Stats for Finance are hard course, but you can still score a first class with no problem. Many of your colleagues did in the previous year. And then we offer also courses on business skills, on soft skills, which are important for the business world. For example, learning how to make a presentation in front of a group when you are trying to establish your research or your results are something relevant for team decision in business and in finance, or how to be proficient in Excel. We also teach you some coding in the overall in the degree. So we equip you with all the fundamentals you need to study finance in stage. In your second stage of the degree, you will still take common subjects, including corporate finance, derivatives, financial econometrics, and intermediate accounting. Again, all these modules are core to understand finance. Of course, if you are a finance student, pure finance, you will then be very interested in corporate finance. If you are an IFRM student, you will find derivatives and financial econometrics very interesting. And if your preferences are towards accounting, you will still be able to take a huge amount of accounting modules in the degrees. And then most likely you are going to like intermediate accounting. At this point, the 3 degrees that we offer separate. So at the end of term 1 of stage 2, you are going to make your choice. And you will be able to decide which of the 3 degrees you want to take. At this point, after 1 year and a half, you will all have the fundamentals to be able to carry on successful studies in finance and then obtain a very good job market placement. The 3 degrees are all equal. There is no status rank. If you are more interested in the corporate side of things, you should choose finance. If you are more interested in banking or in understanding the full picture on how the financial system works and impacts on the economy, then BIF is for you. If you are very quantitative inclined, you like maths and stat, and you like the idea of becoming a data scientist in finance, someone who is hardworking with data to manage investment, risk decision, advice on portfolio management, then IFRM is a degree for you. It is the most quantitative degrees among the three of them. But all three degrees are extremely good, and there is no need for you to choose beforehand. You can select any of them and then freely transfer from one to the other. I briefly mentioned before, our business school is different from the business school degree that we offer are different from any other finance degree you can get in the UK for sure, but also in Europe. First of all, the classroom experience is different. The attitude and the drive of students is different. We have very hardworking and motivated students. And very importantly, we offer different opportunities in the sense that because we are a business school, we work in close contact with the industry. So our academic courses will give you, of course, all the necessary academic foundation, but are continuously updated to reflect industry needs. For example, starting from last year, we have a new stream within the IFRM degree called Machine Learning for Finance, because the industry now is looking for data scientists able to apply their abilities to the financial issues. So we continuously update the degree and work in close contact with the industry. And this is reflected not only by the choice of our industry partner, where you can have your placement here or your summer internship, but also by the great results of our graduate students that have all got job in top financial institution after graduating from our business school.